Hi guys, you've got Sammy here. Today we're going to be completing the Treble Bobble Granny Square as part of our 365 Granny Square a Day Crochet Along project. So I've done a chain of 6, slip stitched together to form a ring, and done a chain of 1. Now I'm going to work 12 single crochet separated with a chain 2 into the ring. So we single crochet, we chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. I'm going to keep working our way around, single crochet separated with a chain 2 until we have 12 single crochet and 12 chain 2 spaces. We're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. We're going to ignore the single chain that we did. So you guys finish the single crochet chain 2 repetition. I'll meet you back here ready to do round 2. Okay, we're finished with round 1. So we've got our 12 single crochet and 12 chain 2 spaces, slip stitch to join. I'm just going to slip stitch over into the first chain 2 space. I'm going to do a single crochet, into that chain space, a chain of 3, and a treble crochet 3 together in the same chain space. So we're going to wind over twice, pull one up, going to do a treble crochet, but we're going to leave the last loop on the hook. Last 2 on the hook. And it's a 3 together, so working a second one, 2, and a third. Now with the third one, I'm going to yarn over and go through all of them to finish and pull it nice and tight so that that stitch sits up as we work around. So we're going to repeat this 3 times. So we've got our first treble bobble. I'm going to pop 2 double crochet in each of the next 2 chain spaces. So skipping actual stitches and just working into the chain spaces. 1, 2, and the next chain space as well with another 2 double crochet. 1, 2, I'm just having a yarn tangle. There we go. Okay, now we did a treble crochet 3 together, but we're actually going to do a treble crochet 4 together into the next chain space. So yarning over twice to start our treble crochet. 1, 2, a second treble crochet, remembering to keep those last stitches on our hook. So there's 2 partial treble crochets done, a third into the same chain 2 space, and our 4th and final. I'm going to pull our yarn nice and tight so that that sits out. we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So 2 double crochet into the next 2 chain spaces. As we get back around, we started with a treble bobble here, setting up. You can see how they do set up. You got the lots of 2 double crochet in the center. We're going to be finishing off with 2 lots of double crochet, 2 lots of 2 double crochet into the last 2 chain spaces before we slip stitch into the top of the treble crochet 3 together. And we're ready to do round 3. Now if you want to follow that along with the video, go back around 4.5 minutes. Otherwise I'll meet you back here shortly and we'll get on to round 3. We're back and ready for round 3. You can see our treble bobble stitches sitting up nicely there. And we're ready to start round 3. So I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the top of the treble crochet 3 together. So a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, and we're going to repeat the next part 4 times. I'm going to chain 2, and pop a single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, oh sorry guys, I've drifted off camera, chain 2, single crochet into the top of the next double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the top of the double, chain 2, and last single crochet in the top of the last double there. So we're back to treble bobble, double crochet, treble crochet 4 together. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to single crochet into the top of the stitch, chain 2, and single crochet into the top of the stitch. And I've pulled up too much of the stitch, hold on. You see it's flattened it out. I just want the top of the stitch is the long part at the back there. Hopefully you can see. So I'm going to single crochet into that, chain 2, and single crochet. So we're going to follow that exact same stitch pattern all the way back to the beginning, slip stitching to the first single crochet. If you want to follow along with the video, please go back around 3 minutes. Otherwise, continue the same stitch pattern and I'll meet you back here to do round 4. I'm going to be finishing off with this colour for round 4 and incorporating a new one. See you soon. Okay, round 3 is finished. You can see our nice little bobbles sitting up. It's kind of easy to see them sitting out from the back where the holes are, but they're all sitting up there. And we're ready to start round 4. Now I've changed colour. That, as always, is entirely your choice. I can separate that tail from my working yarn, it'd be helpful. I'm just attaching with a slip stitch into the chain space after we finished off. So the first chain space after we finished off. If you're not changing colour, perfectly okay. Just slip stitch over to that chain space. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to single crochet. Chain 2. Chain 3, sorry. And then do a treble crochet 3 together in the same chain space. So just 3 for the starting one. Our chain serves as the first stitch. Remembering to keep the last stitch on and complete them all at once so that they will sit out nicely from our square. And pull them all through. You want to pull it quite tightly too. Get that back yarn tight so it does sit out nicely. Okay. Now we do 2 double crochet into the next chain space. Nice flat stitches next to your treble bobbles so they sit out nicely, and as I'm working you can see they're getting squished and popping back out. So 2 double crochet into the next chain space. Then we're just going to repeat this exact same stitch pattern all the way around the square. So the next chain space we're going to do a treble crochet 4 together, remembering to retain the last loop of each treble. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Finishing off and pulling that stitch nice and tightly. The next chain space we pop 2 double crochet, but we're going to follow this exact stitch repetition all the way back to the beginning, where we will be slip stitching to the top of the first treble crochet 3 together that we did. So lots of bobbles on this round. Keep hooking around if you want to follow along with the video. Go back about 3.5 minutes, I'd say, but it's just a double crochet in the chain space, then a treble crochet 4 together in the next chain space, all the way around. Okay, we're back and we have finished round 4, ready to move on to round 5. So we've got a lot of bobbles happening now. Round 5, a bit of a flat round for a bit to space out the next round of bobbles. So I'm going to start by chaining 1. We're going to single crochet chain 2. So this is all in the top of that treble crochet 3 together that we started with, that we'd slip stitched into. A single crochet again. Let's try that again, Sammy. Single crochet again into the same stitch. Chain 2. So we've got a single crochet, a chain of 2, and a single crochet into the top of the treble crochet 3 together that was our starting point on the previous round. Just try and get rid of that glare. No, there we go. Chain of 2, and we can move around. So we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around. we're going to single crochet into the double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the top of our treble crochet 4 together, and chain 2, single crochet into the top of the next double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the top of the treble crochet 4 together, chain 2, single crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, and a single into the next double, and chain 2. Now this will be our next corner. So we started at a corner, we're at our next one now. So in the top of this treble crochet 4 together, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and chain 2. Then we follow that same pattern we did on the first side down the remaining 3. If you would like to follow along with the video, go back around 3.5 minutes, remembering you don't want to do another corner because we've just done one, so just the sides, which will be a single crochet into the top of the next double and chain 2. So you guys continue on with that repetition all the way back to our first corner. We'll be slip stitching into the first single crochet that we completed there. I'll see you back here ready to do round 6, working with Bobbles again, and I will be changing colour on that round as well. See you soon. Okay, we're back. Round 5 is completed. Now I'm using a different colour, so I've just attached into a corner chain space with a slip stitch. If you're using the same colour, just slip stitch over to the corner chain space. So you know it's the corner because in the one stitch you've got 2 single crochet with a chain of 2. So slip stitching over to the chain space, chaining 1, popping a single crochet into that chain space, chaining 3, and then doing a triple crochet 3 together. That chain will serve as our first treble. So 1, and then we're doing 3 after that. 2, and 3. Finishing off by going through all of those stitches and pulling it nice and tightly. I'm going to do 2 double crochet into the next chain space. Excuse me. And then a triple crochet 4 together into the next. Oh, finish the stitch. Don't want to do that. 1, 2. Let's see if I can get rid of that glare. There we go. 3. And 4. And through all of them, pulling nice and tight so we pop out that bobble. Double crochet, 2 double crochet into the next chain space, and then another treble crochet 4 together. So we're going to follow the same stitch pattern all the way back to the beginning. We'll be finishing off with 2 double crochet in the last chain space and slip stitching into the top of the treble crochet 3 together that we did at the start. So finish off that final round of trebles. I'll meet you back here ready to do round 7. Really square this up. See you soon. Alright, 3 rounds of treble bobbles. It is a beautiful square. Now it is time to square it up because it's still a little round. So round 7, chain 1, single crochet into the treble crochet 3 together, chain 2, and single crochet into the same space. We just made our first corner. Now I'm going to single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So that's single crochet into each of the double crochet and a single crochet into the top of the treble 4 togethers. I'm going to do that for 14 stitches, which will take me to the second corner. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we're at a treble crochet 4 together, and it will be our next corner. So going into the top of the stitch with a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. I'm going to leave you here to finish popping those single crochet all the way around. We'll start to square up and I'll meet you back here to do round 8, which is the final round. If your stitches are bigger and you're already decided this is size, this is an optional round, but I'll run you through it anyway. See you soon. Okay, we're back with our final round. So we are looking squarer now. All those bobbles sitting beautifully off the square. You can see it is very textured. I do love a textured square. So our final round, just for sizing, completely optional. I'm going to be working in single crochet. You can work in half double, double, whatever you need. Actually, I'm working in half double because that's what I'm going to need to bring this up to my size. So we're going to slip stitch over to the chain space from the previous round. Then I'm going to, there's a single crochet. I'm going to call it a single, but I'm going to be doing half doubles because that's what I need to get my square to size. Chain 2 and another single crochet. That's into the one chain space just for the corner, so we get them nice and pointy, and then we're going to be popping a stitch into every stitch from the previous round. So So just single crochet, a half double or a double, whatever you're working with to get your square to size. But you can see even just that little bit how it's squaring it off. Alright guys, I'm going to let you finish off by yourselves. Nice simple finishing round as always. I hope you've enjoyed doing this square. I love it. I think it is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy hooking.